Imagine being born in chains. Imagine walking through dark forests at night, knowing that if you were caught, you could be beaten, imprisoned, or killed. Now imagine doing it not once, but returning again and again to rescue others. That was Harriet Tubman, and her story is one of the most extraordinary acts of courage in human history. In the early decades of the 19th century, the United States was a nation deeply divided, a country growing in economic strength and territory, yet fractured from within by one of the darkest systems in human history, slavery. In that world of oppression, freedom was not a right for everyone. For millions, it was a dangerous dream hidden in the silence of desperate hearts. But from that same soil, from that very darkness, a remarkable woman would emerge. Her name was Harriet Tubman. She was born around 1822 in Dorchester County, Maryland, as Araminta Ross. Her earliest years knew no true childhood. They were shaped by forced labor, physical punishment, and constant uncertainty. As a young girl, she witnessed her sisters being sold away from their mother, a wound that never fully healed. At the age of 13, she suffered an injury that would change her life forever. Trying to protect another enslaved person who was attempting to escape, she was struck in the head by a heavy metal weight thrown by an overseer. She survived, but the injury left her with severe headaches, sudden sleep attacks, and vivid visions for the rest of her life. Most people would have seen this as a devastating weakness. Harriet transformed it into purpose. She believed those visions were signs from God, guiding her steps through darkness. In her 20s, after marrying a free black man named John Tubman, she faced the terrifying possibility of being sold again. Harriet made a choice that would define her life. In 1849, guided by the stars and the North Star, she escaped. She walked more than 90 miles on foot until she crossed into Pennsylvania. Years later, she remembered that moment. When I found I had crossed that line, I looked at my hands to see if I was the same person. There was such a glory over everything. Sun came like gold through the trees, and I felt like I was in heaven. For most people, reaching freedom would have been the end to the story. It would have been enough to survive, to work quietly, and to disappear into anonymity. But Harriet Tubman was not most people. She looked back and realized that her family, her friends, and countless others remained trapped in bondage. So she made a decision that defied fear, logic, and self-preservation. She went back. She voluntarily returned to the South, back into danger, back into the world she had escaped. She became a conductor on the Underground Railroad. Despite the name, there were no trains or tracks. The Underground Railroad was a secret network of hidden routes, safe houses, abolitionists, and ordinary people willing to risk everything to help others escape. Harriet guided men, women, children, and the elderly through forests, swamps, and freezing rivers. They traveled mostly at night. Silence often meant survival. When fear threatened to break someone's resolve, Harriet pressed forward with unwavering determination, and she kept returning, again and again. Over the course of roughly a decade, Harriet made 19 rescue missions into slave territory and helped more than 70 people escape directly, including members of her own family. Slaveholders offered enormous rewards for her capture, yet she was never caught. Those she helped began calling her Moses because she led people out of bondage toward freedom. Harriet became legendary for her instincts. She changed routes at the last moment, disguised herself when necessary, and used coded signals to communicate safely. Late in life, she said, "I never ran my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger." When the American Civil War began, Harriet did not retreat into safety. She joined the Union cause. She served as a nurse, using herbal remedies to care for the sick and wounded. Later, She became a scout and spy, gathering information and guiding military operations through territory she knew better than almost anyone. In June 1863, she helped lead the Combahee River raid in South Carolina, becoming the first woman in United States history known to lead a military operation of that scale. More than 700 enslaved people were liberated in a single night. Witnesses later described the scene as unforgettable. Harriet standing aboard the boat, singing hymns while hundreds ran toward freedom. One might expect such a heroine to spend her final years surrounded by wealth and honor. History was slower to reward her. Harriet lived modestly in Auburn, New York. She cared for elderly and impoverished former slaves, opened a home for those in need, and supported the movement for women's voting rights, alongside figures such as Susan B. Anthony. She never sought material glory. Her greatest reward was the knowledge that she had helped others live free. Harriet Tubman died in 1913 at the age of 91. Today, Harriet Tubman is remembered not merely as a historical figure, but as a symbol of what courage can become when it is joined with compassion. Freedom is not only something we receive. Sometimes it is something we protect, defend, and extend to others. Harriet's life reminds us that even those born into the harshest circumstances can change the course of history. Harriet Tubman, a woman born in chains who chose courage over fear, a woman who reached back for others when she could have remained safe herself. And because of that choice, her name still echoes through time as a lasting symbol of resilience, freedom, and hope.